Alright fellas, I know the video hasn't started yet, but I want to win over a like from you guys for the sake of the YouTube algorithm, so just give me 1 second. Yeah? Yeah? Is it working? You like it? You guys like my cat? She's pretty chill. Her name's Kara, so I hope you enjoy. I wanted to make this video a bit earlier, but I've been distracted due to some personal reasons, the new seasonal and dungeon weapon reviews, and even some work on the second channel, which go check that out if you guys like Minecraft as much as I do. But anyways, for those that have been living under a rock, Thorn is pretty damn strong now for PvE in Season of the Wish, and that's what I want to talk about in today's video. Multiple things have gone its way when it comes to beefing it up from how it once was, and I want to go over them right quick. Starting back in Season of the Witch, we saw a pretty massive hand cannon buff across the board, increasing their reload speeds and even their damage by 20% against red bars, and a whopping 75% against orange bars. Taken into consideration that Thorn is an exotic and intrinsically already does 40% extra to red bar enemies, this was a pretty big step in the right direction for the gun overall. But there's always been one major issue. Who wants to use Thorn when we have a juggernaut like the 𝗍𝗍𝗔𝗂'𝗿𝗏 in the sandbox? Well, even though I'm still sad about this, Bungie decided to hit 𝗍𝗍𝗔𝗂'𝗏 with a pretty massive nerf to its overall poison damage by allowing it to no longer have the damage scaler of SMGs. This has drastically lowered the gap between the two weapons when it comes to which weapon of sorrow you want to run. But of course, that isn't all, as with the launch of Season of the Wish, Bungie gave Thorn a buff out of left field by allowing you to overflow its magazine size up to 40 total bullets via the remnants the gun leaves behind on kills. Keep in mind, these remnants, the little green orbs, are already going to boost the poison damage of your weapon exponentially whenever you pick them up, thanks to 𝗨𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏. So having them also overflow your magazine to the size of an auto rifle is simply something you can take advantage of without even trying, since you're already leaning into the playstyle for the bonus damage. This is also something that has nothing to do with the catalyst, so if you want to take advantage of this, you don't have to do anything at all aside from equipping Thorn and getting out there and killing a bunch of enemies. Now, this new system with the remnants of course opens up a very interesting door that was previously locked when it comes to Thorn. See, most people have only seen Thorn as being viable in PvE when the Strand Suspension Warlock build finally made its way into the game and basically put the gun on a pedestal since it chained suspensions together via the Poison and Necrotic Grips combo. And don't get me wrong, this combo has just gotten even better because of the Thorn buff, but it's unfortunate overall because Titans and Hunters have basically been locked out of using Thorn effectively since neither of them have had a proper exotic to pair it with. Until now. Introducing 𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Also, sorry Titans, there really isn't much you guys can do here to make Thorn super effective, even in the new update. You see, with the change to remnants affecting the total magazine size of Thorn, 𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 users can fire the Thorn and kill mountains upon mountains of enemies, all without ever having to reload, taking 100% advantage of the illegally modded holster armor perk. Use this weapon properly and you'll never need to stop firing while 𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏s is active and doing its thing, which will allow for insane amounts of damage with zero downtime. Pairing the damage of 𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 alongside kinetic weapon surges as well as the 𝗨𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 perk upon picking up a remnant, and your bullets are going to be hitting like meteorites while there's high ticked poison damage in the background, damaging your targets even further. Now, apologies if this build isn't perfect as I'm a Titan main, but here's what I've been personally running on my Hunter when using Thorn as of this update. On the Solar subclass, I am rocking the Blade Barrage Super, with my class ability being Gambler's Dodge, since manually reloading Thorn is something you won't do very often, if ever, and I can always use this to get my melee ability back if I ever lose it. Speaking of which, I'm running Knife Trick for the melee and Healing Nades for survivability. For the aspects, I have Knock 'em Down to beef up my super and to also net me unlimited melee abilities so long as I get a kill upon activating it while radiant. Spoiler alert, we're rocking Ember of Torches as a fragment to make sure that's always the case. For the last aspect, I'm rocking On Your Mark for the sole reason of getting another fragment slot, as this aspect doesn't really give us any buffs that we need directly, and I generally don't find Gunpowder Gamble to be something all that useful for me. Going back to the rest of the fragments, I have Ember of Solace for a longer Radiant and Restoration buff timer, Ember of Singeing to recharge our class ability faster via Scorch, which we're going to do with our melee, Ember of Ashes, which is simply just going to make our melee ability better, and finally Ember of Searing, which will allow us to generate fire sprites upon defeating scorched targets, which we can use for more grenade energy, aka survivability. Outside of the subclass kit, I of course have what we talked about earlier, Lucky Pants with triple kinetic surges. Then to ensure that we actually get the orbs to proc these surges, I have heavy-handed on the gauntlet since we're always going to be throwing melee attacks with impact induction and focusing strike to feed our other abilities as we use our melees. And for the helmet, I'm using kinetic siphon to double down on orb generation, with hands-on to lean more into super energy with our melee kills. Lastly, for the boots, I have time dilation to increase the duration of the kinetic surges, Reaper to generate an orb on kill after using our class ability, and powerful attraction to pick up orbs with said class ability. For anyone who's a hunter main, some type of build that is similar to this shouldn't be anything new, but I wanted to cover it just in case we have some new lights watching today's video, or players like myself that seldom really play other classes. Regardless, Thorn absolutely thrives with this playstyle, and it's really cool to see more classes, again, sorry Titans, be able to join in on the fun and use what's predominantly been a PvP only weapon in PvE. Ever since I was a kid, whenever somebody would mention the words hand cannon in regards to Destiny, Thorn was always a top 3 weapon to appear in my mind, as it's just so iconic. The unfortunate part, however, is Thorn has always, for the most part, been a weapon with its usability locked away inside PvP. With the most recent update in Season of the Wish, however, Thorn's PvE viability just received more flexibility outside of only using it on Warlocks, and that's what I mainly wanted to talk about in today's video. This video was mainly made just for fun as I get back in the swing of things to create more Destiny content for you guys, so I hope you all enjoyed something a little bit different. Also, I forgot to do so earlier, so look at these absolute sexy individuals and thank them for helping support the content. Anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching today's video, I really do appreciate it. Of course, I'd also like to thank my comment of the day enjoyers from the last video, as you guys continue to absolutely crush it when it comes to supporting the content 100% free of charge, and I cannot possibly thank you all enough for your continued support. Anyways, today's word of the day is going to be kitty, so make sure that you feature that word in your comment down below to appear in my next video. Little bit of a nod and a shout out to my cat cameo at the beginning of this one, so I hope you guys did enjoy that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time.